What's good, everybody? It's Countach from Internet Money, and today I'm gonna be doing a video on Clairo. If you don't know who Clairo is, I believe she's 19 or 20. She's a 20-year-old girl. She has a really big song out called Pretty Girl, and she makes like bedroom pop indie music. And recently she dropped a song called Forever that had like some 80s synthpop vibes that were really good. And everybody's been asking for a synthpop video for the longest, so I figured I'd go ahead and just do one. So I'm gonna show you guys, how would you go about doing that for Clairo or for somebody who has that sound. I have a beat already made, and I'm gonna just break it down and tell you like what key it's in, what chords I use, and stuff like that. So get right to it. All right. First off, with beats like this, you really want to stay kind of in between like 100 and maybe like 108 max, because anything past that is a bit too fast and it kind of takes away from the balance. It's like it gets kind of robotic. It doesn't have that feel to it. So I definitely start with the tempo. The key this beat is in is C sharp minor. And I started off with some keys in Keyscape. I actually used a set of Rhodes. Yeah, I use these Rhodes. They're called LA Custom Bright 80s. You don't have to use Keyscape when you're making beats like this, though, but you want to use Rhodes. There's plenty of Rhodes stuff out there. Addictive Keys, I think, has Rhodes in it. And then there's Lounge Lizard, too, which is a little cheaper as well. And these are the chords I played. This is the first progression I played. And your progressions kind of have to have a groove to them. Like, it can't just be like straight whole notes or anything like that. Like, you got to do a little bit of staccato, and you got to have a couple, runs in there and stuff like that to give it that melodic feel, because your singer 9 times out of 10 is going to take heed from whatever melody, you're playing on, like your keys or your lead synth or whatever in beats like this. On the hook, it has this run in it. This run right here. But in the verses, I took it out to differentiate between, the hook and the verse and stuff like that. But it still has that same energy too. And then afterward, I put a bass on it. I use Moto bass actually. Moto bass is probably my favorite bass VST, just because it has like live bass guitars and stuff like that in it. Like, you can literally tweak everything in here. Like, it's crazy. This is the bass line. And then the bass line kind of just follows the staccato melody of the main keys that I played. You know what I'm saying? And it just has that feel to it. And it's kind of like call and answer. See what I'm saying? How the keys will do that first run, and then the bass does it like immediately after. And then as far as presets go, I put Guitar Rig on it. Guitar Rig is also amazing. And I use the preset. I use the preset. I don't remember which one though. It's not telling me right now. And then I just put R bass on it from Waves to give it more of a feel, to bring the life in it out. And then as a layer, I put a synth right here. Which it's the same chords as the regular keys, but I had them hold on and stuff like that, just to give it some variation, like in the sound, and it's like it stands out on its own too. And it comes out super lush, and it fills out the rest of the beat. And then with synth pop beats, like, you always need like some type of top line. Like, top line is just melody on top of it with like a pluck or something like that. It's a really catchy melody at that. So I threw one in from Mini V3. Nothing too crazy. It literally follows the top line that I put in when I was playing the keys, like with those runs. I kind of took that and just ran with it. And the secret to doing that doing synth pop stuff, you really just got to do call and answer stuff like that. Like you don't really have to have 50 different melodies going on at once because it's just too much for the listener, I think. And I used a preset called Campfire in here. So smooth little pluck, and then I added one more in. And it's just like another counter melody. And I really like this sound too. And it gives it more yeah, just more the thing you really just have to have you gotta fill in your space. There it is. You gotta fill in your space with these types of beats because when you're using these sounds, a lot of them are kind of cheap and they don't fill out exactly as they should, and that's why you just keep bringing more and more in. And then this one is in Jupiter AV3. It's called Ambient Soul Keys. Love this sound. Been using it in a lot of loops and stuff like that as of late. And then this is just a hook. Like everything's full, everything's super full, and then the verse kind of dies down. But then it builds back up when I bring this this pad right here in. And it's still not super full. And then at the start of the beat and then before the verse comes back in, I kind of just bring in the drums a little bit to kind of build it up. It gives it kind of like a live band feel almost, because I know drummers usually count off and stuff like that. That's what I've seen live. Drummers will count off before the song starts. And it's also similar to kind of what Pharrell does when he'll do like the 4 count before the beat drops, because he'll bring everything in. So there's no real build up. It kind of just hits you all at once. As far as drums go, I'll definitely make a zip of all of the drums in here, and I'll have a download link for it in the description so you guys can kind of play around with them and stuff like that. The bounce on here is really particular. I started off really with just I did a 4 to the floor. So oh wait, mute that. And then I do 4 to the floor. It'll go for this is an 8-bar pattern. So I'll have it go for, oh wait, no, it's a 4-bar pattern, my bad. I'll have it go for 2 bars with the 4 to the floor. But then the last time it does it, I'll do like some variation in there. I'll have like some toms come in and kind of just roll off, everything rolls off together and stuff like that. That's really key in synth pop as well. You gotta have your rolls going. See what I'm saying? And then hats. Really, your hats can be pretty linear most of the time, but I turn the swing up on this hat here, in this beat in particular. It just gives it more bounce. And then I added in another hat here. It's a live hat though. This one's just a regular hi-hat. But they kind of juxtapose each other, and you can do a completely separate bounce with this hat right here to give it even more of a funky vibe to it. Like that. And then on the second verse, I kind of did this just to do it, just to give it some variation. But I literally did it's sort of a breakdown, but not really. I added in like another bass. That's another thing. Beats like this, you can kind of keep it linear as far as your structure goes and stuff like that. But what really sets it apart sometimes is how much you can really switch it up without completely changing the beat. Like I literally just added in a more aggressive bass, and then I dropped out the keys, and then I kept that lush synth from the hook so it's familiar to the listener. And the drums are literally the same. but it still makes it diverse enough to keep the listener entertained. And then I bring the keys back in over here too. So really, that's all there is to it with the synth pop stuff. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, and I'm gonna do a lot more videos, like being more specific as to what you should do as far as doing this genre. But really, tempo in between 100 and 108 maybe. If you really want like a more up tempo vibe. Like I've noticed like Sway Lee's on beats like that right now too, like with the Hurt to Look and stuff like that. Roy Woods has a couple songs like that. Like even Drake with Hold On We're Going Home, Magic Jordan and stuff like that. Dudes like that. It's a very nice sound to do, I would say. But yeah, keep your tempo 100, 108. Do happier keys as well. And then just sound selection is like king, and it's like you have to know your sound selection or it's not gonna come out right. It might end up cheesy. That's really all there is to it though. If there's anything else you guys want to see, please let us know in the comments and we'll be sure to get to you. Thank you for watching.